Kay Jackson asks, does original sin get cleaned away by baptism? If so, why does it leave a struggle with sin? Great question. This is answered at the Council of Trent. Baptism. So, original sin has a twofold element. There is the guilt of original sin. This is the stain of original sin. It is the privation. Thomas Aquinas says it's the privation of grace and justice. Privation means a lacking, a deprivation. So when my wife and I have a baby and the baby is born, the baby does not have grace inside of it and the baby is not righteous. Those two things it doesn't have the Trinity inside the baby. Those are gifts of God that are super added to human persons. Now, Adam and Eve, when they were created, they were constituted. God gave them grace. He gave them justice. They didn't have the beatific vision. That was their test. We don't yet have that, but God willing, we will. So original sin means that the baby is born without righteousness and without grace. There's something else called concupiscence. Concupiscence is the disorder of our 11 passions. Thomas Aquinas says we have 11 passions. If you want to learn about that, please take the class at New St. Thomas Institute, newstthomas.com. I go through all the 11 passions and explain how it relates inside of you. Our passions are disordered. So, for example, you're eating chips and salsa or chips and queso, and you have food coming, and you're like, I really should stop eating these chips because I'm going to get full and I'm not going to eat the meal that's prepared for me. But you keep eating chips and you keep eating chips. That's concupiscence. Concupiscence is you're eating ice cream and you say, I really should put this pint down because I've eaten half the pint of ice cream already. And I'm going to get fat and it's not healthy and I might get heartburn. And then you just keep eating the ice cream all the way to the bottom of the pint. That's concupiscence. You see someone of the opposite sex walks by and you're like, I really shouldn't look at that attractive person. Could be an occasion of sin or it could be lust. And your eyes just keep watching. That's concupiscence. Now, concupiscence is the disorderedness of our passions. And Council of Trent said, unfortunately, God left it in us at baptism. So at baptism, you get grace, you get faith, you get hope, you get charity, you get the indwelling of the Trinity, Father, Son, and Holy Ghost. You get hooked up, all kinds of great things. But that disorderedness of our passions remains. And Council of Trent says the reason for that is so that we can fight. We can fight manfully against the flesh, against the concupiscence, and become greater saints. It's the inner battle. It's the inner battle. If God took away the concupiscence, there would never be an inward temptation. There'd only be an outward temptation. So you could be on a desert island and your concupiscence could be tempting you to do sins. If concupiscence was taken away, it could only be the kind of thing that the devil did to Christ in the 40 days of fasting. Christ himself wasn't tempted inwardly by concupiscence. He didn't have concupiscence. But the devil came and said, hey, turn those rocks into bread, and so on and so forth. So that's why we still have the struggle, so that you become a greater saint. It's a great question. This is something we all need to understand as Catholics.